got to swap out both front struts on this Cadillac 2015 Cadillac Escalade ESV. It's the big one. And so I'm going to let you get behind the scenes with me as I film with my GoPro and teach you a few things along the way. If you have questions about what I'm doing, drop them in the comments. And if you have suggestions, drop them in there too. And let me know what I could do better or different, or just let me know what you do and how you do it. So hopefully this goes smoothly today. I bought these struts a while back, and I can't remember if I ever actually checked to see if they're the right struts, to be honest with you. I think I kind of looked a little bit during a holy crap, freaking wasp. I freaking hate wasps. And so I can't remember. So if they don't match, then I'm stuck with these things because I can't return them at this point. It's been too long since I bought them. So, but while you're watching, also make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and help us get to 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, and then we're going to go all the way to 1,000,000. So the sooner we get there, the better. And so we appreciate everybody watching. So I'm just going to kind of get to working and get to filming with my GoPro. I already filmed my intro, so we're good to just straight time lapse this thing. And it just started recording. Nice. All right. Let's see here. So I had to buy a new jack the other day because I had bought a brand new Harbor Freight one. My old small one just wasn't working right. And I'm gonna have to, there's that tool. Hell, dang it. Anyway, I had to get a new one. The Harbor Freight one I bought, it worked. I've used it a few times, and then all of a sudden it just stopped working. Dang it, that thing is tight. I'm gonna have to go find the Allen wrench for this. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. I don't know what the range is for this wireless mic, but anyway, I bought the Harbor Freight jack, and then it all of a sudden just stopped working. And it seems like this goes right here. It seems like I think you flip this upside down, possibly. Yeah, it'll go like this here. Anyway, it seems like I actually freaking don't know. Seems like something failed internally on the jack. It goes like this. I've never used this DeWalt jack. This is the first time. So I think this goes. Huh. I'm putting this little extension on so that I can jack this big car up. Never really read the directions on it. Let's see here. Maybe it goes like this. Oh, it freaking didn't go like that. Yeah, it just goes like that. So tighten it on there. Anyway, I'm putting this extension on here so that I can jack this thing up super high. That should be good. So normally this is probably like I could probably easily knock this out in like 2 hours, but with all of the filming and stuff like that, it takes quite a bit longer. Yeah, so it's supposed to be, I think, 20 inches of lift with the extension. Let's see if this thing works. It's not a racing jack or anything like that, so it's nice and slow. That Harbor Freight one was a racing jack. Ah, crap. All right, so I screwed up already. Knew I was going to do that. So I had to break my lugs loose before I jack it up because I don't have an impact wrench. So that's what I'm going to do. If you're watching, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Headphones anywhere, have you? Nope. I'm doing a live. Seriously? Dang. Yeah. Some old lugs. Got the outer casing on them. I think I already did this one. Nope. All right, so they're all broken loose now on this side. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and jack the whole front end up. I haven't looked into this job at all. I don't know what it's going to take. I might end up not being able to do it because of the might call for a specialty tool. I've been wanting to do this job for a while. Suckers are tight. I had some new tires put on this thing. And they put an impact on it. Suckers are tight. Okay. Everybody's watching, like, share, and subscribe. Now we can jack this thing up. Usually I'll throw on my emergency brake just for good safety measures. And it'll just engage the rear drum brake so that car won't roll. It's on level ground, but when you jack it up, it can still roll backwards. Possibly. I'm jacking it up a good amount. Then I'll just figure out what my jack stands can handle. If you've been watching, I have been investing in cordless tools. I've been, they're just kind of handy. I've been wanting to do it for a while. So that's what I've been doing. So a cordless light would come in super handy. So usually I like to put these things on the frame somewhere because I know it can handle the load. But these are small jack stands. They'll only go up so high. Yeah, maxed out right there. If I lower it down, it should be good. So it'll drop another inch or two, 2 or 3 inches at the most, but I got like 5 inches here. So as long as the tire is just above the ground, that's all that really matters. And get the tire off. So lower, put the other jack stand on. I'll put it in about the same spot. Should be good to go. See how easy this jack is to lower down slowly. So what I do is I let all the weight go on the jacks, and then I'll come in here and I'll put a load back on the jack itself. In the event that a jack ever fails, I've got a third point of contact that will hold the car. So that's just what I do. So see if I can get some good angles on this sucker. I guess I'll just go no gloves today, busted knuckles. Oh. So if you don't break your lug nuts loose beforehand, you could get somebody in the car to push on the brakes, and it would maybe be enough force or pressure to be able to turn the lug nuts without the tire spinning. But if the tire's not on the ground, or somebody's not doing that, or if it's a rear tire and you have the e-brake put on, that tire will spin when you try to loosen off these lug nuts. So there's something to remember. Another thing I'll do when I'm doing suspension work is I'll take this tire and I'll roll it under the car back here, under the frame. That way, if you have a jack fail or a jack stand or some kind of a weird fluke of a deal where the car is going to fall down, it's going to fall on the rim of the tire, and it will mess the rim of the tire up. That's better than dying. You're getting pinned under a car, waiting on somebody to help you. So, and the tire's out of the way while you're doing your work. All right, so we'll put our bolts back here, bump it, pull it off, roll it, flatten it, rock it under. And these are some big freaking tires. Okay, I have no idea how hard or easy this is going to be. Let me think for a second. Actually, it looks like it's going to be pretty freaking easy as long as I can get to these bolts. Let me see if I can get to the bolts so I can get to these bolts here, and then you have to get to these bolts up here, those bottom two, and then the top three, and then this one has like some kind of magnetic sensor on it or something. So before I go too much further, yeah, I can get to all of the bolts from up top. So this might have just turned into like quite a bit faster of a job. So I unpackaged the correct side the first time. So the only other question is does this plug match? So I'm gonna go double check that. And I think I can drop this thing down in between the lower control arm. So I just bought the struts for the front because those were the ones I was told were probably going to go bad first. And then I loaded up my dad's camper on this thing and hauled it around to move it to a different spot. And it really is not rated for that kind of weight. And ever since then, the suspension system error symbol has popped up saying service suspension. It still runs and operates, but I think I might have basically messed something up. That wasn't super critical, but it's affected the sensor. So we'll see. Let me go get a little step stool, see if I can get up in this car. All right, I'm gonna try to time warp this thing just a little bit. Time lapse it up top under the engine compartment and unplug this unplug the plug from up top here, and basically check it to see if it's good. I can't even tell how this thing comes apart. Literally looks like somebody's messed with this thing before. I did have my mechanic friend look at it. Holy crap. So you got two prongs. The other one has. And the wire's been like taped up or something. Self. Pro select. Tape. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Why is it taped up? No kidding, dude. Somebody spliced some wires together. What the heck, man? That's crazy. They're spliced wires together. That's crazy. That's crazy. Why? What the heck, dude? Okay, so yeah, there's that. So plugs match so far. For some reason, somebody spliced this plug onto that strut. I have no idea why. Maybe they clipped it on accident. I don't know. But this plug matches. So I mean, it's got a little bit different internals. Ah, I got it backwards. No, it's a perfect match. I don't know, man. That's crazy. You never know what you're going to find when you go behind people. That's why I try to do things good, because man, you just never know. I'm going to bust this bad boy open and make sure that it's not going to go on this side. So this other strut will be a little harder to get to because there's AC lines and battery cable lines and stuff. So I'm going to do this side first, just to make sure. All right, so I actually can't tell a difference in these. They literally look identical. The ones they got different part numbers on them. Huh. Oh, that's kind of crazy. I guess I'll have to look a little bit closer at it, maybe. Huh. Yeah, the bushing is slipping on it. You can see it. That bushing right there. It slipped over that way. So it's not housed up inside the bushing housing. And it's actually rubbing on the lower control arm a little bit. That's crazy. So I won't have to get the car aligned or anything because it's I'm not gonna have to unbolt any of the suspension parts. All right, I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit closer. All right, we're unplugged. I'm gonna go ahead and get this last wire plug out of the way. The wire keeper. Ow. Man, that's crazy. Can't believe they spliced that wire in. What the crap, man? What's wrong with people? Okay. Let's see. Do this. Get an extension. And I have no idea what size this is. I'm gonna go with 13 millimeter. But it might be a 12. Could be a 14. Oh, jeez. Is it not deep enough? Oh, no. Kidding me. Dang it. Let me see. Okay, no, we're good. It's deep enough. It's just the wrong size. I was about to say, dude, that's ridiculous. Let's go 14. So I learned how to do body work working on wrecks. People getting collisions generally involves a wheel. So I would be changing out a lot of times all the parts because very seldom does not all the parts get bent and broken or snapped or whatever, or a bushing gets put under stress and cracks. Something loud's coming up the road. Oh. Big tractor. Jeez, dude. Okay. That might hold. Oh, don't bump it. We'll see. I should be able to undo all these bolts without it sagging down because I haven't done the bottom two yet. But I did the one. I left the last one that I can get the most turns out of my wrench on, in case it's just under torque the whole time. There we go. Not under torque, but I don't want it to come off easy. There we go. And I could use my impact wrench. Once these are broken loose, I could use my impact driver on it just to run them off. But I don't feel like it. Sometimes I like to do things the hard way or the slower way. But it's kind of like, this is the DIY way. Most people aren't going to have all the tools. Like, you can get this done with, honestly, I'm going to end up getting it done with probably 10 tools or less. I had sold all my old body shop tools and suspension tools and stuff years ago when I stopped doing it professionally. So I didn't need it. So, oh, goodness. Doing a live. Just so you know. You tired? No? Trying to get the shot here. Hopefully the camera's not in the way. All right. I really don't need the light. This is here just because I'm trying to get well lit shots. So that's the only reason I'm using it. I'm probably not going to use their bolts because there's nothing wrong with these bolts. I don't know what size these are. That's got to be a 15. Yeah. So, one thing to be mindful of when you're turning a wrench, like I said, underneath a car, is, oh, I got a comment. Let's check it out. What's up, Alfonso Milligan? 9511. Appreciate the comment. Let me know what you think. But when you're turning a bolt on the underside, I mean, a strut's not that big a deal, but like a, you know, something that's like a control arm, it's gonna be handled. That's handling quite a bit of load, and you gotta start putting torque on it. And especially if it's not breaking loose, and you're trying to like slam into it, you can shift a car off of jack stands, especially the lighter cars. So don't put yourself underneath the car to do that kind of activity, and then shift the car off the jack stands. Even if you have a tire underneath it, like I do, like, not a good place to be, because sometimes some parts are lower than others, especially when you have it jacked up like this and your suspension parts are hanging. And so one might still get onto you, even though it's not the full weight of the car, before the weight of the car gets caught by a tire. So those those bolts came out super easy. So I should be able to take this strut, slide it backwards. This is where gloves would definitely come in handy. Because I'll have to kind of worm it out of here, and they're not light, so I should be able to. Man, sucker's in there, man. I have to get a hammer, pop it out of there. I don't think I can hit it. All right, so I can take my weight and push down more on that control arm and get the tension off. I don't think it has any pegs on it or anything. It should just slide right off. I'm just gonna pry it off. That should be. Doesn't quite want to do it. Kind of makes me wonder how easy is it going to be to push it off. I'm trying to do this without scratching myself and busting my knuckles open. So I might just go ahead and get my hammer and just tap it out of here. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can just. Don't feel anything. Should be holding it. Like I said, it was getting into that lower control arm, and I wonder if it's like. Oh, that's probably what it is. That's crazy, man. So it's definitely kind of eating into that lower control arm, which the control arm's fine. Like, it's just, as far as control arms are concerned, that's cosmetic. But it This stupid stabilizer link is like, it looks like it's plastic. Silly. Try not to beat the crap out of it too bad. I need like a 2x4 or something to beat on. Might have one in here. Let's see. I'll just use this. This is the closest thing I have to me right now. It's a little bit long. I cut it down. Just didn't want to put my earmuffs on. I think that's my issues. I don't have any. I used to have pry bars. You know, pry bars come in handy on suspension work. Let's see if I can get on it like this or something. Oh man, it's crazy, dude. Like I can't get the right leverage on it. There's too much stuff in the way. Okay. Well, I think what I'm gonna have to do is maybe jack up on the bottom of this, compress it down just a little bit more, and then bop it out of the way. I don't think I can push down on this anymore. Maybe I can do this. Hold on a second. I'm trying to be a little too nice with this, if I'm being totally honest. Mother freaker. See, that's what you do right there when you're doing that kind of stuff. A hammer handle smashed my finger underneath that lower control arm bolt. Ow. It hurts. Son of a gun. I mean, it should just pop right out. This isn't like normal or anything. It's for sure not normal. Keep her out of the way. Mother freaker, that hurt. That's gonna be sore for a few days. Yeah, it's so basically this part of the bushing housing, you know, it's shifted over because the bushing detached from the housing and shifted over into the lower control arm where it bolts around. There's like a whole section of the lower control arm where it branches off to the other parts of the subframe or the actual frame. And so this part shifted off the center part of where it should be, and it's touching the lower control arm, which I'm surprised I haven't been able to hear metal on metal contact. Ow, my finger hurts. And so that's causing it to, it's obviously bound up a little bit right there. And it's kind of seated down into the deal there. And I just can't quite get, man, I guess I'll go get my bottle jack, get some boards or something and jack that up a little bit. Something that I got to break it loose from that lower control arm. Ow. It shouldn't take much. Just about getting the right leverage on it. That's not even close to enough. Alright, doubled up. Alright, I can work with that. So it's really perfect. That's locked out. Okay. Like I said, I don't really care. I just need it to lock in enough to unseat it from that lower control arm. And then I can probably hit it again with that. Well, that's crazy. It jacked the car up. Man, that sucker's in there, dude. Freaking annoying, dude. It's like it's fused to the lower control arm. Huh. I separated it over here. Maybe I can bop it loose. I hate to do it with that yeah, I had something else to should have turned that old drive axle into a big punch. Can't get in here on it. So I have caused separation on one side of the lower control arm right here. Problem is I really need to be hitting the control arm this way to unseat it from the lower control arm. Can't quite get that wooden beam over here, I don't think. There's too much crap in the way. I'll try. Nope. Yeah, what's gonna happen. I don't want to damage anything else. Yeah, and another thing, you know, like you can use an air hammer on stuff like this, and it will help you. You can just get it in there and just it'll lock it loose. Appreciate everybody watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I can kind of pry on it with this thing, but it's not enough to. Dang it, man. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it quite like that. I mean, it should have popped loose. It should just slide right out. I mean, I've done tons of these things, tons of them over the years. I have to go find something else to, some kind of a driving punch. I don't have any of my old wedge hammers or nothing. Be this. This might work. And I've got some old pipes and stuff, but it's not hardened steel or anything. All right, let's stop the time lapse. Restart it. I found this old hatchet that I can put in here on this housing. I can beat the backside of it. And that's causing movement. That's what I need. I think I came loose. I got it. All right, I got it. Nice. I'll knock it over a little bit more. That's crazy. See it? Did you see that move? It was still hung up just a little bit. But now it's loose. I should be able to bop it backwards and it'll drop out of the way. So it's always something. That's what an old mechanic body shop friend of mine said. I don't remember which one. They all said it, but so now's the still. You still have to be careful. It's gonna want to fall out of here. What I tell you? Yeah. So it's nice when they fall right out because then you know, hey, I can get that thing back in there. But like a mother freaker, dude, that is crazy. So let me show you. I'll get you a shot over here on the car. So this bushing here this is slid off center from the housing. So this bushing should be up in here behind this lip here, and it's not. So obviously this part that's attached to the bushing was bolted to the lower control arm, and so it's not going to move in relation to the control arm of the lower control arm, but this housing will if it separates. So this section right here had shifted sideways into the lower control arm, and this is what you see. So if I'm live, 30 seconds behind. Are you watching me? Yeah. I got like 18 viewers right now. I was at 14, just went up to 18. All right, so this is confusing because everything's backwards. It's reversed from what I'm seeing. There it is. You see that right there? Can't quite see it. That's where that housing was eaten into the lower control arm. And again, that's not going to compromise the lower control arm or anything. I'm not worried about it. It's not like we're going crazy with this car either way. But that's crazy that did that. I've never actually seen something do that. Because usually I'm getting cars that are just wrecked. And so if anything's happened, then I'm just going to assume it happened because of the wreck. So anything I've seen, I've just always attributed to that. That's crazy. So it was seated in there, I mean, a solid 1/4 inch. So another reason I do these lives is because the kids and my wife and other family members, I guess, but whoever can just watch me instead of having to come out here and sit and watch, which they do sometimes. So they can just kind of watch and see what I'm doing. And if I'm doing something crazy like this and the car falls on me, then they'll know and they can help me. So it's a safety thing is what it is. All right, let me double check. So I want to make sure I'm putting the correct one back in. So it's lined up like that, like this, wrapped around. So I'm just gonna go back in with this. Golly, they freaking look identical. I didn't see any difference. Why they have different part numbers if they look identical? That's what I don't understand. I mean, there's got to be something that's different about them. Look different. Looks the same. Different part numbers, identical parts. I mean, it's identical, dude. I mean, it's freaking identical. I don't get that. Springs have the same part number. That's not surprising at all. But I mean, these are identical. Guess I don't freaking care. And they look identical. They look freaking identical. Let's look at the top plate. Top plate, same part number, full pattern. Full pattern seems to be the same. There's an extra hole in these new parts, but that doesn't matter. All right. Well, let's just roll with it. Okay. If you're enjoying watching the video, like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to 500,000 and 1 million subscribers. Drop a comment in the comment section below. All right, here's the hard part. It could be hard. I don't know. I guess it could be fine. Oh. So, got a center bolt pointing out. So, center bolt like that. And then these should be oriented like that. If I were to do this, that would be wrong. If I were to do this, that would be wrong. This is the only way it can go. Sometimes you can twist these things after the fact. I don't think this is going to be one you can twist. It doesn't look like it. So, the key to getting these things in here is to get up in here and just kind of hug the knuckle with your chest so that you can hold the weight of this thing. And then you got to feed your wire in the hole. All those years of doing body shop work, I could have been filming myself. All right. So I'm going to try to hold it up and apply pressure. I need about a 1/4 inch of downward movement on my control arm. So I'm going to try to put my weight down on it and lift it in there. Almost got it. Without pinching my fingers. There we go. All right, now it's in there. And now you got to get your bolts started. And anytime, that's not a problem getting my studded bolts because they're already in the holes for my nuts. It's these ones right here. And another benefit, probably the way they designed it this way, is they've got these backer nuts that you can clip on over the hole like that. That's how it's designed. But it'll go like that. All right. And then the bolt will go. I can get it go back on here. So I'll be coming in from the bottom, but it'll go like this. Right in there. So that obviously is going to move and flex a little bit. It's not a fixed nut that's been welded to the backside or anything. That makes it easier to get these bolts in there. If I can get the bolt into the hole and then get it to grab on those threads inside this backer nut, then I should be able to just thread it up on there. But sometimes you got to kind of bend it around. So you want to get one in. Try to get the easiest one in. So I need the control arm to come up a little bit because I'm on an angle. Can't quite get it to thread. I don't want to cross thread it. I got to pull it backwards to me a little bit. This is the problem with these long holes, long bolts, is they're hard to get straight. Hit the thread straight on. Oh, I got that one came through. If I get one, I'll feel good about putting like a bottle jack on it. Kind of pushing up on that lower control arm, it won't slip out or slip around too much. That one looks to be going in. Let me get a different angle real quick. Woo, buddy. It's getting a little warm out here. All right. So I always like to hand tighten as much as I can until I know for sure it's threaded. And now that I got one threaded, I might can get this other one threaded now. Feel good about it. Can't quite tell which direction it's going. So I need it to need that side. Where'd my freaking pry bar go? Oh, it's right in front of me. I need my pry bar. I need that side to go back towards the engine here. I'm gonna try to get right on that middle. There we go. And then not damaging that bushing. Dadgummit. Because it's actually getting hung up on the metal. There we go. Starting to get on threads now. That's enough. Yeah. Now I'm grabbing threads and I can spin it by hand. So now I'm ready to rock and roll, baby. So that's good. I'll tighten those down all the way here in a second. I'm gonna go up top and make sure I'm good up there. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to that 500 subscriber mark. And then we'll go to 1,000, hopefully increase the rate in which we do that. All right. All right. Yeah, we're good. All right, I'm gonna go put these nuts on. Man, I wasn't really planning on doing this today. It just kind of hit me, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I'll run these down as far as I can, and then I'll bolt them up the rest of the way with the wrench, ratchet, or whatever. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plug in the sensor, put the locking mechanism on it. Good to go. Now I can work on tightening those down. I'm going to put my universal joint on there. I can get on those bolts a little bit better. So this isn't my favorite universal joint because it's super universal, and that sometimes can hurt you. But it'll get the job done. I can get off on the right angle. And you can break these studs off of these struts. I think I did it once on one. If you're not being careful, you should be putting a torque wrench on everything. Just be safe. But I've actually never owned a torque wrench before. Wouldn't mind having one. I just wasn't really taught to use one in the body shop world. More of a fillet thing than, mechanic style stuff. So making sure that we're snugged up real good. Like I said, I'm getting them nice and snug. I'm going in between all three bolts. Just make sure nothing weird's happening in them. I'm about to rip a bolt off. Another thing that's nice about these struts is they're pretty much not going to fall off. You'd have to be really bad to do that. Oh, how some of these keepers go on. I think that oh, that's interesting. Trying to put well, that didn't freaking work out like I wanted it to. There it is. So I want that freaking bolt. It must have been attached a different way. Okay, so those are tight. I'll get these other two, and then this side will be done. I'll look it over one more time, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I think I actually bent the end of my tire iron here. Johan Prinsloo, thanks for the comment. Help us get to 500 subscribers. We'll be posting a bunch of lives like this and full length videos, shorts, lot of DIY stuff. I can't believe it got into that control arm like that. I don't know if it was like that when we bought this car. I think the mechanic I had look at it would have saw that because he pointed that to the out the bushing, and I looked at it with him while we had it up on the rack. So it's like, I mean, I would have seen something like that. The control arm bushings look good. So if this doesn't fix that suspension symbol, hopefully this is what it is, and the back's just fine. I didn't count the threads before I took it loose. I can go double check the other side. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be good. That's about a pinky width from tip to the where it's coming out of the threads. Yeah, that's good. It's just pulling that nut down, seating it down into the hole a little bit. So that's probably why they gave me the nut and bolt setup, because this you're not gonna do that's not gonna happen to a nut. I'll keep them, swap them out if I need to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the so I did my plug, I did my top 3 bolts, I did my bottom 2 bolts. I didn't touch anything else. So now I can just slap this tire back on and call it good. Appreciate everybody watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Comments in the comment section. You're welcome to go check out some of the other content right now on the page. More tailored videos, more polished videos. So similar to when I broke the lugs loose before I jacked it up, I won't be able to like fully tighten this thing down until it's back on the ground. So the absolute last thing I'll do is tighten all the lug nuts down. 3/16. Dang, it's a big one. So it's nice to put a socket on these lugs because you can get them on there hand tight. Once you get the tire seated all the way against the brake rotor, you can go ahead and run one lug all the way down to where it's seated out into the taper. And if it's close enough, you can go ahead and run it all the way down, and that'll hold the tire up against the rotor. You can look and see if the lug nut stud is centered up on the taper hole, which that tells you you're totally seated in there right. So then now when I put these bolts on here, they're basically as tight as they're going to get until I can torque them out once the tire's back down. And then the tire's not moving anymore in or out measurably or visually. Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a repair. Just ran into that one little hiccup. I'm kind of curious about the other side now. So when I worked in the shop, obviously of course you got all the right tools, and it's production, quality and production in that order. But it's like, man, you want to make money, you gotta go. You gotta get it done, you gotta get it done right, you gotta get it done quick. So, but when you're doing it at your house, a little bit low key, a little bit easier. So I think I'm about to wrap it up. I'll film my outro real quick on my GoPro, and then I'll sign out on there on the live GoPro video mode. GoPro start recording. All right, everybody, that's about going to do it for today's video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Put your questions in the comment section, and also let me know if you enjoyed the content today. Just drop it in the comment section. And that's going to do it for how to swap out struts DIY and save a few dollars. Bigfoot out. So that's pretty much all I'll do. And then I'll GoPro turn off. I'll upload all that and run it all through my editing system on my GoPro app. And then I'll actually export it, and I'll do a voiceover on CapCut, so I can kind of talk through the time lapses of what you're seeing right here. And I can kind of speak to some of the things that I may not have actually spoken to, like I would have on like a live, for instance. So yeah, these videos will be good to watch them live if you're looking to learn something, and then to go check out the other videos too, because I do them on separate occasions, obviously. So I'll think of things differently, or I'll think of a different way to say it. It might be helpful to somebody. So, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the other side off camera, and but appreciate everybody watching. Bigfoot out.